And so we're down to the final 6 greyhounds in the Boylesports Irish Greyhound Derby. 2 tremendous semi-finals this evening, 3 semi-final winners, and all 3 of them clocking 29.32. Kevin, we had a dead heat. I can't remember it ever happening in a semi-final of a derby before. Certainly hasn't happened in a semi-final of a derby in my time. But Lenson Bocko, 29.32, will no doubt start favourite for next week's final. He was stunning in the opening heat again.
Yeah, without question. Look, he does everything, doesn't he? He starts, he is serious middle pace, and he's staying better every week. 29.32, I didn't think the second semi-final would match it, so they stepped up their game, but he just has that X factor, doesn't he? For such a young dog, for a dog that probably should be starting in the Puppy Derby on Friday night. They'll have to give that a miss now because they have a bigger occasion on Saturday, obviously, but he's an awesome pup and he's doing everything right, and Graham is getting a real tune out of him since moving to the kennel from Curly Mix. Obviously it hasn't affected him at all, and he's gone from strength to strength to strength, and he's making this place his home, and he's definitely going to be the one they'll all have to beat in the final.
He's 10 from 12 now. He has that immediate acceleration. He's looked at Derby in waiting for a couple of weeks now at this point. There really is there's no flaws in his game.
No, look, the one thing I suppose from a bookie's point of view that I would be holding on to if you're looking to get the favourite beat is we've often seen younger dogs be affected by the roar and the occasion and stuff like that. You can't fault his game, what he's done so far. There is no flaw. He starts, he goes down the back, and he stays very well as well at the moment. Look, the only thing you'd be sort of questioning is, being so young, will the occasion get to him? If that doesn't, and he does go ping in the final, there was a question mark over Log Hill Blake, the occasion didn't bother him, and he looks a similar style to Lenson Bocko. So look, for Lenny Ponder and Graham, it's going to be a fantastic week building up to the final. Hopefully he gets here all in one piece, and if he does, he's the one they'll all be keeping an eye on.
Behind, of course, Lenson Bocko, we saw the best of Run Happy. He ran a tremendous race tonight. Showed big pace down the back straight. Didn't lead where he likes to be, but off the second bend, I wouldn't have fancied his chances, especially when you're looking back and seeing Boylesports King probably going to get involved, maybe grab third spot. In the end, he got past Deadly Dynamite, and that was the key for him. But Run Happy will be in the Derby final, and Pat Buckley has won it before.
Yeah, look, it was a complete... Look, Run Happy for me was 50s going down the back to make the final. I just didn't see him holding on. Like you said, you had the likes of Deadly Dynamite, Boylesports King and Ballydial Valor, who all in my opinion are better stayers than Run Happy. He wanted it tonight. He drove the third bend and he made it his own. He stayed much better than I had ever seen him, and I've ever given him credit for. I had him down as a front runner, and an out and out front runner, and that's all he was. And tonight he showed me a different part of his game, and at the end of the day we know he's much better away from the boxes than he showed tonight. If he gets a fast start, if he got his nose in front prior to tonight's run, and I would have said he would have been one you did pick up. You wouldn't like to try and pick him up off his running tonight, so I think Pat would be very pleased to get one through to the final. And
last in, we have to mention Boylesports King. This was a stunning display. I know John Boyle owns him and that's the story, but the story tonight was this dog recovered from a hefty bump in the corner, and off the second bend he took a little nod, clipped the dog in front of him, lost a stride or two, and it looked game over. But this dog has some pace. He just is getting better. He's only an October whelp. He did some running to qualify in third.
Yeah, he did. He was magnificent tonight. I thought going into the corner, I was quite happy. I thought he'd qualify from there. At a second bend when he tripped over the trap 3 dog, I said he's 50s now to qualify. I thought his chance was gone. He never knows when he's beaten. Look, he'll probably need luck in the final. I don't think the final really matters nearly. Look, obviously John would love to win it, but to have a dog in the final of a derby, it's something that he's dreamed of for a long time, whether it be track or field. And he's ecstatic. He flew in tonight just especially to come and see him run tonight, and he done him proud. Dolores Root, you have to tip your hat to her for a dog with such little racing done, and his running style, knowing that he has to come from the back every night, and he's just doing it every night. He never knows when he's beaten. He's not prepared to throw in the towel. He'll need luck in the final, but sure, they all will.
He's in the final, that's the main thing.
That's the biggest thing. I still can't believe he's in it after clipping heels at the second bend.
Indeed. And now let's take a look at the second semi-final of the Boylesports Irish Greyhound Derby. A tremendous result, a really exciting contest. Mucky Brae, though, I thought he was certainly beaten off the last bend, but he is plucky. We saw that in the earlier rounds when dogs came to challenge him. He went again. Tonight, that was our surprise in his outside. That was a fair achievement to get back and dead heat with that tracker.
I'd say Curly Mick is saying hallelujah tonight. We've been on this video saying that he had all the pieces of the jigsaw. He just hadn't put it together at the start. Tonight he did. He was out like a rocket. This is a dog that we've been waiting for this run from the start. He fitted the profile of a dog that we thought would progress. Once or twice I thought it might not all come together. Tonight it did. He was awesome to the bend. When our surprise turned as close as he did, I thought the writing was on the wall. I said it from the middle. I thought going to the third bend, what price is Our Surprise? He's probably 5s on if you're betting and running, I thought anyway. But the way Mucky Brae, and even coming to the line when Our Surprise, he just stuck his neck out and he really wanted it. The key to his chances is to do the same again next week. Mick has to get him out of boxes the same way as he did tonight. If he does, he's a real player, because he's got all of the attributes that a Lenson Bocko would have. He's a young dog, progressive. I know Lenson Bocko's a wide seed, this lad is an inside seed. I see so much of the two of them in each other. I think they both start, they both have great middle, and they both stay well enough. So Our Surprise for the Joneses, you'd have to be delighted for them. A real stalwart who's just plucked away every round and stayed on. There's always one or two of these that get through to the final or the latter stages, and he went to the bend much better tonight, which was his key. He was able to turn in a handier pitch, and like I said, down the back he looked that he had a great chance. But if you were coming in here tonight and you were going to say that Our Surprise would clock the same as Lenson Bocko, who got a solo, you would have got a fairly big price. So I'd say Connections are delighted.
Yeah, indeed, a cracking race for first spot, but also a cracking race for third spot. Ballydoyle Valor looked absolutely tailor-made, set to grab third when he was in that spot down the back straight. A real powerhouse, a dog that'll stay further than 550 yards, but Kilmacdonough, this lady just does not know defeat. She dug deep. She showed real smarts at the opening turn. She just eased off slightly. She was going to be the meat in the sandwich. She stepped around the dog, she went forth, and then she said, right, it's go time, I'm getting into another final. She is a special lady. My heart goes out to Ballydoyle Valor and his Connections, because he did run a big race and he was really coming into the Derby. But Kilmacdonough, she's in the Derby final and anything can happen. We haven't seen a bitch winning in quite some time. She is a special lady, but it was a special display tonight in defeat.
It very much was. She's not starting as well as I'm sure Kieran and the lads would want her to, and tonight when she missed it I said oh no, because I fancied her tonight from the draw. Like I said, I thought that it was a little early in 4 and 6. I thought 3 would move in, and I thought she'd get the run of the race. When she missed it, that all changed. She was in no man's land, like you said. From there on, she had to be smart at the bend. A lady in amongst all them bigger dogs. She was definitely going to encounter trouble when she didn't start pretty well. But how she went around Ballydoyle Valor, like she didn't have the inside line. She had to go around him and past him and get up. And like you said, he's such a strong dog, and I'm sure his day will come as well. He's a really good dog who's going the right direction. But she just really wants it, and you have to say the season she's had, you'd be foolish to rule her out. I know she's not starting particularly well, but she needs it. There's a ping in her. We haven't seen it yet. Maybe Kieran is holding it back for the final.
In the last 3 finals she's done a ping. Magical Bale went out in this race. There were rumours about his fitness during the week, but he did run. I'm sure Connections were happy with the dog. Just the lustre wasn't there tonight. He missed a kick, and then his kennel companion, Music to Our Ears, having missed Mucky Brae, I don't know how Mucky Brae avoided him. That was a task in itself. But Music to Our Ears then gave Magical Bale a bump, and thereafter I'm afraid his derby was over. But he owes his Connections nothing. He's been a superstar in our sport, and I don't know if it's his last race. It may well be. If it's not, I look forward to seeing him again on the track. But you know, he played his part in this year's derby. Unfortunately, he won't be in the derby final again.
Yeah, look, he was the. I'm pretty sure that dog was 100%. I know there was a cloud clearly over him, but of all the dogs in the semi-finalists, if one was to be withdrawn, it would have been him. As in, he had nothing to prove. He had absolutely nothing to prove to Connections, to Pat. I've no doubt. It's an awful pity at what happened because of the rumours during the week, and I mean, well, there weren't rumours. We know he wasn't 100%, but when he missed the break, 100% Magical Bale in a Derby semi-final, when he doesn't do his best attribute correctly, and you have Music to Our Ears born in you, he was always going to struggle slightly. Like he's not a dog that's going to come from 4th or 5th to get up. I think it was just more the fact he missed his kick tonight. And like you said, he owes Connections nothing. He owes the Graham public nothing. The amount of followers this dog has is for a dog that unfortunately hasn't got to win a Derby and hasn't got that accolade, but he's as popular a Greyhound as we've had around in a long time. I hope it's not his last race, but like that, he doesn't know the many thing. If they don't want to run him, fair play, but he may make an appearance maybe at the Night of Stars or something like that. That might be a swan song, but look, it doesn't really matter. I'm sure tonight and tomorrow will be hard to take for owners and trainers that have had him, Kevin Hutton clearly as well, but he's a dog they'll look back on in time and think it was a dream to be associated with him, and they may never get one like him again.
Indeed, may never have one like him again, because he was special. But we now know the draw. Lenson Bocko, have no doubt, will start a hot favourite. We're not going to go to talking prices at the moment, but I would imagine probably odds on. Kilmacdonough, importantly, is inside run happy in Mucky Brae, the 3 inside seeds. She's on the inside of the other 2. That's important. If she happened to turn a close second to Lenson Bocko, anything could happen. She's going to have to hold run happy and Mucky Brae, which is a task in itself. But if she takes a flyer, You just never know.
Yeah, look, I don't think anyone in the draw is going to be disappointed. I think it wasn't really a draw with 3 inside seats and only 2 wide seats. It wasn't a draw that could go too badly wrong. Kilmacdonough has a lovely pitch on the inside, provided she starts. I know Run Happy, Pat Buckley and their connections, they'll be rubbing their hands because Kilmacdonough hasn't started the last couple of weeks like she can, and if she doesn't start again, they're going to have a lovely draw, run to the corner, possibly if they got away well, and be able to hold the pitch. Mucky Brae put it all together tonight. We know Run Happy is going to stick tight to the rails. Our surprise wouldn't be a brilliant starter in 4, so Mucky Brae, if he starts like he did tonight, he could make the bend as well. Then you have Lenson Bocko, who's flanked either side by not particularly strong starters. He was guaranteed 5 or 6. The draw was never going to go too badly wrong for him. And then you have Boylesports King out on the outside. The key to the race is going to be the start. We say it every year, it's going to be the exact same again. If Lenson Bocko does what he done tonight, gets out, pings out and leads, I'm pretty sure there's probably only maybe Kilmacdonough if she turned close, and Boylesports King if he turned close. Maybe our surprise, but I think Lenson probably would hold him. But I think there's already only 2 that could pick him up, and they would have to be turning close. It's not easy to pick up a dog to 29.30. But look, it's wide. It's not. It's a wide open draw. But I just think that if Lenson does things right, he's a worthy favourite.
He certainly is a worthy favourite. It's a great final. It's one to look forward to. I can't wait for it.
Who do you pick?
I think Lenson Bocko will be very hard to beat, but yeah, Kilmacdonough. I just had a few quid in her during the week at 8-1. I thought maybe it was a bit bigger price. I'm happy with Trap Draw.
Yeah, no, I said that during the week. Actually, I thought she was very, very generous at 8-1, purely because I really fancied her in her semi-final. I couldn't see her not qualifying, and if she made the final, she was going to be 5-2, 11-4, 3-1 with the bitch money alone that will bring her in price. So yeah, no, I fancied her at that price during the week as well. Lovely draw and one. She needs to start though.
Yeah, it's a great final to look forward to. We've got the young pretender, Lenson Bocko, the dog that deserves to be favourite. Kilmacdonough, a bitch hasn't won it in 20 years. We've got 2 flying starters, Run Happy, Mucky Brae, and the 2 big finishers, Our Surprise and Boylesports King. A derby to look forward to, a derby to savour. Join us next week for the final of the 2019 Boylesports Irish Greyhound Derby, the greatest night in world greyhound racing.